आज गुरुपौर्णिमेसारख्या दिवशी मामसरांना नमन करून संदीपजींना मी यापुढची सगळं योगाचा क्लास घेण्यासाठी सांगतो.
मी 3दा ओंकार म्हणते आणि गुरु ब्रह्मा मंत्र म्हणते. गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः.
Over to Sandeep ji. Good morning. I request Sandeep to start the session.
पौर्णिमेच्या सर्वांना हार्दिक शुभेच्छा. आणि पौर्णिमाताई, प्रशांतजी, वंदनाताई, सुप्रियाजी, धन्यवाद आजचं सेशन सुरू केल्याबद्दल. तर आणि धन्यवाद माझा परिचय करून दिल्याबद्दल. त्यांनी सांगितलं की बाम सरांचा पट्ट शिष्य वगैरे असं काय म्हणता नाही, आणि जेवढं शक्य झालं तेवढं बाम सरांकडनं घेण्याचा प्रयत्न केला. आणि जेवढं मला काही समजलं तर त्या गोष्टी आज तुमच्यासमोर मांडण्याचा प्रयत्न करतोय. तर ज्या काही चुका होतील त्याबद्दल आधीच माफी मागतो आणि आजचं सेशन सुरू करतो. तर बाम सरांसोबत इतके दिवस राहिल्यानंतर त्यांनी जी आम्हाला सवय लावून दिली की सुरुवात कोणत्याही कार्यक्रमाची, कोणत्याही साधनेची शांती मंत्राने करावी. तर आजच्या कार्यक्रमाची सुरुवात सुद्धा मी एक शांती मंत्र म्हणून करतो, जो आपल्या सर्वांनाच उपयुक्त आहे. ज्यावेळेस आपण एकत्रितपणे साधना करतो, गुरु शिष्य किंवा शिक्षक आणि विद्यार्थी, तर त्यावेळेस हा शांती मंत्र म्हणणं जास्त उपयुक्त आहे. तर तुम्हाला जर माहिती असेल तर तुम्ही मनातल्या मनात तो म्हणायचा माझ्यासोबत, नसेल माहिती तर फक्त ऐकायचं. ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ओम शांति शांति शांति. यासोबत आज आपण आजचं सेशन सुरू करूया. So I think I'm going to speak in English language. I think it will be comfortable for every one of you to understand, to follow the language. But still, if you have any kind of questions, please write me by chat so that I'll be answering you in Marathi or in Hindi. Purnima ji requested me to conduct today's session, and especially in today's session, we are going to include 4 important techniques which Bam sir used to teach us. There are 2 techniques which are breathing exercises, and there are 2 more techniques which are kind of meditation techniques. I used to play a sport, and as a sportsman, Bam sir used to insist to follow these techniques to get better results, better output. But whatever I have seen, that these techniques are not necessarily used only in the sports, but in any sphere of life you can use these techniques to get better output. So today we are going to focus especially on 4 techniques. As I said, there are 2 breathing exercises. The first exercise which we are going to learn today, that is Amrut Pranayama. And the second technique which we will be focusing, that is Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama. So these are the 2 breathing exercises, and then the 2 meditative techniques, or I can say one technique, it is called as Bandha lock, energy lock, which is very useful as a preparation for meditation, you can say. And the second technique, it is Nyas, which is also beautiful technique. There are different types of Nyas. So today we will be focusing on two different types of Nyas, which Balm sir used to teach us. So let's start with the very first technique. Personally, I like this technique very much. And Balm sir used to teach this technique to almost each and every one of us. And thanks to all our colleagues in the Balm Kranti group to initiate this activity. Because of this activity, now we are able to, kind of give this technique to many people all around us. So the first technique which we are going to focus today, that is Amrut Pranayam. As we all know what is Amrut, we all Indians know the meaning of Amrut. Amrut is nectar, or Amrut is kind of substance. If you have this substance, you can get immortality. So sir used to say that if you practice Amrut Pranayam, it is possible to get immortality. Not necessarily on the physical level, but sir used to say that with the help of your karmas and with the help of Amrut Pranayam, you will be able to do such kind of karmas so that people will be remembering you even after your death. So of course, there are many benefits of Amrut Pranayam. So today I'll be focusing on how to practice Amrut Pranayam, what are the techniques to follow Amrut Pranayam. So let's try to understand the whole concept of Amrut Pranayam step by step, so that it will be easy for all of you to follow the whole technique. Because if you start focusing on all elements of Amrut Pranayam, it will be difficult and a bit complex. So let's try to understand step by step. So the very first step, the first element of Amrut Pranayam, it is simple deep breathing. So it's simple deep breathing technique. In this technique, you are just going to breathe in through your nose deeply, and you need to breathe out through your mouth by rolling your lips. So just look at me, just have a look. So this is the first element of Amrut Pranayam, inhalation through your nose and exhalation through your mouth. The second element, that the process of inhalation and the exhalation should be done with proper proportion. So the time of exhalation should be double than the time of inhalation. So here we are using the proportion 8 to 16. So how to count this proportion, we will come to that. But just try to understand the process of inhalation and exhalation should be done in proportion. So exhalation time should be double than inhalation time. And we are going to use 8 counts for inhalation and 16 counts for exhalation. And we will be counting this proportion on our right hand. So if you look at your right hand, every finger, like little finger, then ring finger, middle finger, and index finger, every finger, you can see 3 lines or 3 folds. So we are going to use these 3 lines, 3 folds as a reference points, and plus additionally tip of the finger. So the first rule for counting, let's start counting from little finger. So you need to start from little finger, then ring finger, then middle finger, then index finger. The second rule for counting, count from bottom to top. So start from the bottom, first line, second line, third line, and tip of the finger. Then next finger, third finger, and fourth finger. So I'm just going to show you how to count. Now you don't need to breathe, just need to learn how to count. So first you need to start on your right hand with the help of your thumb. First touch the base of your little finger, that is number 1. Then second fold, 2, 3, 4. Then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So these are the 16 points which we are going to use for our practice. As I said, the proportion for Amrut Pranayam, it is 8 to 16. In 8 counts, you are going to breathe in through your nose, and in 16 counts, you are going to breathe out through your mouth by rolling your lips. So look at me. So when you want to breathe in, you can count first 2 fingers, 1 and 2, because it will include 8 points. So when you want to breathe in, you can count like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then after finishing inhalation process, when you are breathing out, you can again start from little finger and start counting for 16 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So that's how we are going to count the proportion while practicing Amrut Pranayama. Once again, I am repeating, when you are inhaling, you are using first two fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And when you are exhaling, use all four fingers, starting again from little finger, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's how we need to synchronize our process of breathing with counting. Now I'm going to ask all of you to try this process with me. So first we will not count at all. We will just do 3 rounds of inhalation, exhalation. Inhalation through your nose and exhalation through your mouth. Just practice it with my instructions. So all of you, please sit straight. If you're sitting on the chair, just make sure your spine is erect. If you're sitting on the floor, you can either cross your legs or sit in Vajrasana by bending your knees. You can keep your hands on your knees. Dhyana Mudra, Jnana Mudra, tip of thumb and index finger together, remaining 3 fingers together, and relax. Place them on your knees, keep your back straight, neck straight, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Focus on your breath. Now we are going to practice simple deep breathing without any proportion, without any counting. Just follow instructions. So take a deep breath in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth by rolling your lips. Again, take a deep breath in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth by rolling your lips. One more time. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. I hope all of you have understood the first element. Now let's practice second element separately. Now no need to breathe, just breathe normally. Let's try to learn how to count. So you can hold your right hand, not left hand, but right hand in front of you. If it is difficult for you to count, you can even keep your eyes open and just check whether you are touching your thumb properly on every fold, on every line. So just imagine that you are inhaling and exhaling. I'm going to give instructions for inhalation, exhalation, but actually you should not do inhalation, exhalation. It is just to understand which fingers we are using for counting. Okay. So for example, when you are breathing in, you can try with me. 1, that is first line. 2, second line. 3, third line. 4, the tip of little finger. 5, 6, 7, 8. So this 8 points we are going to use for inhalation. And when you will start exhalation through your mouth, then again you can start from little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, I hope all of you have understood how to count. Now let's practice counting without breathing. Just breathe normally. We will try to count with different speed and just see which speed is more comfortable for you. Okay. Now first of all, we will do with very slow speed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. I hope you can match this rhythm while counting. Now let's try a little bit faster. So again, you can start from the little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Let's try a little bit more. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. So now what is the speed, or what should be the speed while practicing Amrut Pranayam? We will come to that. So first of all, we are just training our fingers to count properly. Now, as I already said, for inhalation, you are going to use first 2 fingers for 8 counts. For exhalation, you are going to use all 4 fingers for 16 counts. Now, why we are using these fingers or these points? Of course, it is very useful for counting so that we can use all 16 points. But these fingers and these folds, they are actually not only for counting, but every finger, as we all know that every finger has its own element. Thumb represents fire element. Index finger represents air element. Middle finger represents space element. Ring finger represents earth element. And little finger represents water element. So every finger has its own energy, has its own element. Also, every point which we are counting, so whenever we make contact with those points, it has the direct connection with 16 brain centers in our brain. So these points are not just for counting, but these points actually develop a strong connection with our brain through our hands, through our fingers. So actually this counting, maybe you have seen the movie Avatar, which was very popular Hollywood movie, when they are doing cloning and when they try to develop, the human being, the cloning of the human beings. So maybe you have seen that part, that they are trying to teach that Avatar how to develop the nervous system, how to develop the neuromuscular coordination. Actually, this kind of counting is very beautiful technique to develop the neuromuscular coordination, because all our fingertips and the points on the fingers, they have direct connection with our brain, with the brain centers. And there are 16 important organs which are connected with these points. So through this contact, we don't not only count, but actually we stimulate those organs, we stimulate those brain centers. So this counting is, of course, useful for counting, but also to develop the neuromuscular coordination. If the children are very small, if we teach children like till the age of 5, 6, just counting tip 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it will help them to improve their concentration level. From the age of 6 to 10 or 12, if we teach them counting, not complete Amrut Pranayam, simple counting, 16 points, you can see a good development in their focus, in their concentration level. And then you can teach them synchronizing their breath and counting. So that is even wonderful. Now we have already studied the first element of Amrut Pranayam, that is deep breathing, inhalation through the nose, exhalation through the mouth. The second element of Amrut Pranayam, that is counting on the right hand for proportion, 8 counts inhalation, 16 counts exhalation. And now what should be the speed? Now speed of counting should be whatever is comfortable for you. For example, if you feel that you have very good lung capacity, you can even go with slow counting. For example, like this, inhalation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, exhalation, 1, 2, with this speed you can go. If you think your lungs are not strong enough to match this speed, you can even go a little bit faster, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like this. Only one condition, that when you will start inhalation at first point, you should complete inhalation exactly on the 8th point. Don't finish inhalation earlier than 8th point. So you should be able to match the time span of your inhalation with 8 counts. So it will take a little bit practice just to synchronize the time span of your inhalation and 8 counts. Same way, when you're exhaling, try to match the time span of your exhalation with 16 points. So it will take like few rounds for you to practice. So you can start from first and try to finish exhalation exactly on 16th point. Don't finish exhalation before 16th point. One more important thing, that in this pranayam, we are not holding our breath at all. So it's a process of inhalation, immediately exhalation. Inhalation, exhalation. There is no retention of the breath. There is no holding of the breath. I hope you have understood. Now we have studied only how to use right hand, but of course there is function of left hand also. But now we will not go with left hand counting because it will make a little bit more complexity. So it's better first use only right hand, and when you are comfortable with right hand counting, then you can include left hand. So first we will practice Amrut Pranayam few rounds, and then we will go with left hand counting also. Actually right hand it is used to count your proportion, and left hand it is used to count how many cycles you should do or you are practicing. So Amrut Pranayam, Bam sir used to say that especially this pranayam should be practiced for minimum our age plus 3 number of cycles. For example, my age is 38 years old, so I need to practice minimum 38 plus 3, that is minimum 41 rounds, 41 cycles. If somebody is having age 50 years, then they should practice minimum 50 plus 3, that is 53 cycles. If somebody is 18 years old, for example, all girls, all women, whenever you ask them their age, so they're always 18, right? So 18 plus 3, 21. So you know your age, so you can add 3 in that, and that will be your minimum number of cycles you should be done every day. Okay. Today we are not going to practice like all those number of cycles. Today it's just practice session, so we'll just try to practice few rounds of Amrut Pranayam. But after practicing few rounds, I'm going to show you how to use left hand as well. Okay. So let's practice. I'm going to give you instructions. If it is difficult for you to touch those points with closed eyes, because it might be difficult for some people, because when you close your eyes, you don't know how your thumb is moving. So for the beginning, you can keep your eyes open and you can simply watch if you're touching your thumb properly on the exact point, because touching on the exact point is also very important. As I said, it is connected with the brain center. Okay. So I request all of you to keep the eyes open, to keep your right hand in front of you. Ideally, it should be kept on your knee. When you are sitting in a meditative position, it should be kept on the knee. But just for the practice session, now for a few rounds, you can hold your hand in front of you. Keep your eyes open. You can watch how you're going to touch those fingers. And now let's try to synchronize the breathing with counting. Okay. I'm going to give you instructions. We will do a little bit faster, not very long duration. So get ready. Back straight, neck straight, eyes open. You're watching your right hand. You're holding your right hand in front of you for counting. Keep your left hand relaxed, rested on your right knee. So back straight and get ready. Before you start the practice, first of all, breathe out completely through your mouth. And then you can start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now exhale through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That is one round. Let's try 2 more rounds. Inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale through your mouth by rolling your lips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Let's practice 3 more rounds. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 2 more. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 and 16. So I hope you have understood how to practice Amrut Pranayam. Now this is the function of your right hand. If you have studied yoga, so we are going to actually practice next technique, that is Nadi Shuddhi. In the practice of Nadi Shuddhi, I am going to explain you this concept a little bit in more details. Our right side or right nostril represents the solar energy and the left side represents the lunar energy. So right side is more active. That's why we are actually using the right hand, which has more activity, that is proportion. And the left hand we are going to use to count how many cycles we perform. Now look at my hands. I'm just going to show you. So this is my right hand. This is my left hand. Now look at my hand. Just watch carefully. So if I am practicing Amrut Pranayam, if I want to use both of my hands, then I am going to start like this. Inhalation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhalation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So when I finish one round of Amrut Pranayam, then on the left hand, I will count 1. So we are going to use the same logic, all 16 points. So when you finish one round, then count 1. When I finish 2 rounds, then I will count 2 cycles. When I will finish 3 rounds, then I will count 3 cycles. It means on the left hand, we are going to count how many rounds we practice. And on the right hand, we are going to count proportion of Amrut Pranayam, that is 8 to 16. So again, I am repeating. On the right hand, proportion 8, 16, 8, 16. And on the left hand, how many cycles you will be performing. It means when you will start from little finger and when you will reach index finger, tip of the index finger, it means you have done 16 rounds of Amrut Pranayam. For example, if your age is 50 years old and you need to practice 53 cycles, so how many left hand you are going to count? So 16 plus 16 plus 16, that is 48. Then 49, 50, 51, 52, and 53. So that's how you can count on your right hand and also on the left hand. If you will develop the practice counting on right and left hand, it will really give you tremendous effect. It will improve your focus. It will improve your concentration level. It will improve the activities of the brain. It is actually very good. I recommend this technique, especially for those people who are suffering with stress disorders. It is very good because you are working with your nervous system. For all kind of nervous disorders, this is one of the very important techniques. Now, this was all about the technique. But whenever you want to begin practicing Amrut Pranayam, the most important thing, Sankalpa. So you should start practicing Amrut Pranayam by making the Sankalpa. So Sankalpa or resolution, it's very simple. What you need to say to yourself, you need to simply sit in a meditative position and visualize and say to yourself that now I'm going to start Amrut Pranayam, and visualize that you receive all cosmic energy entering in your body from the top of the head and spreading out everywhere in each and every cell and residing there and giving you strength. So after making this Sankalpa, you can start practicing Amrut Pranayam. So this was the very first technique. Now let's practice few more rounds of Amrut Pranayam. Let's use our both hands for practice. Now we are going to practice 5 rounds of Amrut Pranayam with my instructions. The session is getting recorded. So Purnima ji, she will be sharing this session with you. If you still have any questions, you can watch this session again so that it will be easy for you to follow the whole process. Now we are going to practice 5 rounds of Amrut Pranayam. We will practice it all together with my instructions. If you wish, you can close your eyes. But if it is difficult for you to count, you can keep your eyes open and just watch how you are placing your thumb on each and every point while practicing Amrut Pranayam. So get ready, sit straight. You can sit either on the chair or on the ground. Back straight, neck straight. Keep your eyes closed. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Again, take a deep breathe in, breathe out. Get ready for Amrut Pranayam. Now you can either keep your hands on your knees, just keep them relaxed, keep your hands open. I'm just going to hold my hands in front of you just for counting purpose. So if it is difficult for you, you can still watch my video and follow the count. But if you are comfortable, you can place your hands on your knees. Let's practice 5 rounds of Amrut Pranayam. Okay. First of all, breathe out completely through your mouth. And you can start on your right hand counting. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that is one round. On the left hand, you can count 1. Second round, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Second round is done. On the left hand count, second. Again, 3 more rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 3 rounds are done. 2 more. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 4 rounds are done. 1 more round. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 5 rounds are done. Okay. Now breathe normally. I hope it was easy for you to follow all the instructions. Now, you need to practice Amrut Pranayam like this for few days, for several days. And when you are comfortable counting with closed eyes, when you are comfortable counting your fingers with closed eyes, then you can add one more element of Amrut Pranayam. That is mantra chanting. Now, I didn't tell you about mantra chanting at the beginning because there are already many aspects of Amrut Pranayam. First of all, it's a breathing exercise. Then you have to count on your right hand. Then you have to count on your left hand. So many elements are there. So for that, you need very, very good focus. And also it is very important whether you are placing your thumb on the proper point. So when you are very much comfortable counting on both of your hands, and when you can count with closed eyes, then you can add one more element that every time you touch the finger, every time you count, you need to chant one simple mantra, Hari Om, but mentally, not loudly, but mentally. Now I'm going to show you how to practice it. Just look at me. I'm going to speak out loudly for you to understand, but just to understand when to say Hari Om. Okay. So when you are counting 1, 2, 3, 4. So instead of count, I'm using Hari Om. Hari Om, 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 Hari Om for inhalation. And for exhalation, again, Hari Om, 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 Hari Om. So it means 8 times Hari Om mentally with inhalation and 16 times Hari Om mentally with exhalation. So 8 Hari Om for inhalation and 16 Hari Om for exhalation. But you should add this element of mantra chanting only when you feel comfortable counting with closed eyes. Because if you start chanting Hari Om from the very beginning, then you might feel, stress, you might get tired, or it will be very difficult, complex, and you will not have enough motivation to continue the practice. So it's better you develop the practice step by step, and only when you feel comfortable counting, then you can add the element of Hari Om. Of course, everybody knows the power of mantra. So when you touch your finger with this mantra, so you energize those points with the help of the mantra as well. So this is all about Amrut Pranayam. I hope it was easy for all of you to understand this technique, and I hope I tried very well to kind of share this information with you. But still, if you have any questions at the end of the session, we will have open discussion. So I will ask everybody to ask any kind of questions if you have. Now let's move to the second technique of today, that is Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam. It is also very popular as Anulom Vilom Pranayam. But the actual name given in Hatha yogic scriptures, that is Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam. Because the purpose of this pranayam, it is Nadi Shuddhi. So what is Nadi? I think many of you already know the concept of Nadi. Nadi is in a very simple words, we can say it's an energy channel. For example, in the human body, we have different kind of systems. For example, circulatory system. It means if you are talking about the circulatory system or the blood flow. So to flow the blood, we have a special passages, arteries and the veins. So if the arteries and the veins, they are functioning very well, if there are no blockages, the circulation of the blood goes very easily. But as soon as there are some blockages in the veins or in the arteries, there is a kind of difficulty for the circulation of the blood. So that's why it is very important to have the arteries and the veins without blockages. The second thing, if you are talking about the respiration, the nasal passage, if our nasal passage is clean, then air can flow from our nose to the lungs and from lungs out through the nose. Okay. So this is the second passage through which we get the air coming in and going out. Second, about the digestive tract, the whole digestive tract, the intestines. If the intestine is clean, then the process of digestion, then absorption and excretion will happen very easily. So there are different passages. Same way, in the human body, to flow the energy, the pranic energy, we have a special system, and that system it is called as Nadi. It works like a traffic. For example, if you are driving your car on the road, highway, okay, if there is no traffic, you can go smoothly, even you can travel from Nasik to Mumbai or some other cities very easily without any traffic. But if there is an accident or if there is some block on the traffic, what will happen? There will be delay in the traffic. The same way, when there is blockage on the energy level in our nadis, even though we have good physical strength, even though we have good mental strength, but it's difficult for the pranic energy to flow in the body. And that is the main purpose of Nadi Shuddhi. Nadi means psychic passages or energy channels, and Shuddhi means to clean. So Nadi Shuddhi, even though it is considered as the pranayam, but in Hatha Yoga, actually they have mentioned 8 pranayam, that is Ashtakumbha. And Nadi Shuddhi, it is considered as the preparation for those 8 pranayam. So the purpose of Nadi Shuddhi is cleansing the whole system of Nadi, the whole system of energy flow. And that's why it is very much recommended that whenever we practice any kind of pranayam from Hatha Yoga, it can be Bhramari pranayam, Ujjayi pranayam, Surya Bhedan, Bhasrika, Plavini, Moksha. There are 8 important pranayam. So before you practice any kind of pranayam, it is important to clean up the whole system of Nadi with the help of Nadi Shuddhi pranayam. And of course, the complete pranayam, which includes bandhas also, energy locks. And it is difficult actually to teach bandhas online because it is kind of private practice, and it is very important to watch, observe how the person is doing bandhas and whether he is doing proper or not, because it will be seen only physically. online practice, it will be difficult to observe the bandhas. So today we are not going to deal with bandhas. Today we are going to practice very simple inhalation and exhalation, Nadi Shuddhi. So it's a deep breathing, but with alternate nostril. Now, in the previous pranayam, in the Amrut pranayam, what we have done inhalation through both nostrils and exhalation through mouth. In Nadi Shuddhi pranayam, now we are going to use each nostril separately or alternatively. Okay. The first rule for Nadi Shuddhi pranayam, start the practice through your left nostril and finish the practice with the left nostril. So how it should be done? So you are going to start with left inhalation, then immediately right exhalation, then immediately right inhalation and left exhalation. So it will look like a infinity sign. It's a very simple practice, and I think in India now many people, they practice this on the very regular basis. It is also known as Anulom Vilom. In some Hatha Yoga scriptures, they have named this technique as a Shiva Shakti Pranayama. So the purpose is same, Nadi Shuddhi. Now I'm going to give a small demonstration of Nadi Shuddhi, and then we will be practicing Nadi Shuddhi together. So look, just have a look. For Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama, we are going to use our right hand to switch the nostrils. Okay, only right hand. Why right hand? Why not left hand? I'll just give you a small example to understand. Okay, so first understand how to switch the nostril by using the right hand. This is my right hand. I'm going to fold my index finger, middle finger. Okay, so my thumb is straight, and last two fingers, that is my ring finger and little finger, they are straight. And then I will turn my hand. So whenever I want to close my right nostril, I'm going to use thumb. Okay, but where to place the thumb? Not at the very bottom, not at the very top, just at the center. So you can say there's a bone and there's a cartilage. So just at the junction. Okay. So I'm going to place my thumb on my right nostril whenever I want to close my right nostril. Then I'm going to place my last two fingers on the left nostril whenever I want to close my left nostril. So thumb for right nostril and last two fingers for left nostril. So whenever you want to breathe in or breathe out through left nostril, use your thumb to close right. And whenever you want to breathe in or breathe out through right nostril, you need to close your left nostril with last two fingers. Okay. As I already mentioned previously, that each and every finger has its own element. So thumb represents fire element, index finger represents air element, middle finger represents space element, ring finger represents earth element, and little finger represents water element. So just remember this concept. Now, as we all know that our right nostril represents the solar energy. So it means whenever we breathe through the right nostril, it gives such kind of effect on our body which stimulates the solar energy, or you can say the physical energy. Whenever we breathe through the left nostril, our left nostril represents the lunar energy. Okay. Whenever we breathe through the left nostril, it activates the lunar energy or the mental energy in our body. So while we are doing alternate nostril, it is to harmonize our physical and mental energy. So it means right nostril, it is also called as Pingala Surya Nadi, left nostril Ida Chandra Nadi. Now look at my right hand. When I am doing this mudra, it is called as Pranayama Mudra or Pranava Mudra. When I am doing this mudra, I am placing my thumb, which represents fire element, on the right nostril. Right nostril, that is solar nostril, Surya Nadi. And last two fingers, that is earth element and water element, that is cooling element, on my left nostril, that is Chandra Nadi. So just to kind of match the energies, I am placing my thumb, fire, on my Surya Nadi, and I am placing my last two fingers, that is earth and water, cooling element, on the Chandra Nadi. If you use the left hand, it will be exactly opposite. So it will be unmatched. So just to balance or just to match your energies, we are using only right hand for pranayama, for pranava mudra. Okay. I'm just going to give you a small demonstration for Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam. While practicing Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam also, it is recommended to sit in any meditative position. If it is difficult for you to fold your legs, cross your legs, you can even simply sit on the chair. Only one important thing, your back should remain straight. So look at me. I'm using my right hand, folding first two fingers, closing my right nostril. First of all, breathe out completely, and then you can start inhalation through your left nostril, exhalation through your right nostril, immediately inhalation through the right, and exhalation through the left. So this is one round of Nadi Shuddhi. You can simply visualize the flow. Left inhalation, right exhalation, right inhalation and left exhalation. So if you look at the sign, it will look like an infinity sign or 8 in English, 8 sign, horizontal 8 sign. So that's how we are going to practice Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam. Of course, there are some other elements of Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam, but before we talk about the other elements, let's just practice simple Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam, all of us together. For some people, it is difficult to fold the fingers. For some people, it is difficult to fold the fingers like this. Okay, so actually it should be done this way. If it is difficult for you to fold the fingers, instead of folding, you can place them on your forehead and you can switch the nostrils like this. If it is difficult for you to fold the fingers, you can place them on your forehead and you can switch the nostrils. Okay. So get ready. Take your right hand in front of you. Fold your index finger, middle finger. Okay. Then turn your hand towards your face. Thumb on the right nostril. So your right nostril is closed. Breathe out completely and then inhale through your left nostril deeply. Then close your left, right open, exhale through your right. Inhale through your right nostril immediately and exhale through your left. So this is one round of Nadi Shuddhi. Just you can bring your hand down. So now let's try to understand what should not be done while practicing Nadi Shuddhi. Many people, when they practice Nadi Shuddhi, their hand is very much up. So if you hold your hand too much up, your muscles, shoulder muscles will get tired. So it's better you just relax your arm and place it close to your body, close to your chest. Okay? While practicing Nadi Shuddhi, don't hunch your shoulder. So look at my shoulder, look at my right shoulder. I am just hunching my shoulder and practicing. So this is also not very good way, because as soon as you start hunching your shoulder, the position of your spine is not very proper. Okay, so it will create stress on your spine, it will create stress on your lungs. Okay, and it is not very good practice. So try to avoid hunching your shoulder. Try to avoid holding your hand away from your body. Just hold it close. Okay, relax your face. There should not be any stress on your face. While inhalation, exhalation, don't move your shoulders. And then just follow my instructions. Let's practice it one more time. So take your right hand, Pranava Mudra, hold index, middle finger, thumb on the right nostril, close your right nostril completely. Breathe out through your left nostril completely first of all, and then start. Inhale through your left, exhale through your right, inhale through your right, exhale through your left. Inhale through the left, exhale through your right, inhale through your right, exhale through your left. Let's practice 3 more rounds. Left, inhale, exhale through your right, inhale through your right, exhale through your left. Left inhalation, right exhalation, right inhalation, left exhalation, left inhalation, right exhalation, right inhalation, and left exhalation. And relax. You can now bring your right hand down. Now, while practicing Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam, some of you must have seen that breathing through one nostril is easy, but breathing through the other nostril, it is not that much comfortable. Okay? In case if one of your nostril is blocked, completely, better not to practice Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam. It will be even stressful practice. It's better you practice with both nostrils, inhalation, both nostrils, exhalation. If you feel your nostril is partially blocked, partially closed, then you can still practice Nadi Shuddhi, and you will see after 5 minutes of practice, both of your nostrils will start flowing equally. But if your nose is blocked, if you see that your nose is not inhaling properly, there are some cleansing techniques mentioned in Hatha Yoga, and one of the cleansing technique, it is Neti, Jala Neti, cleaning nasal passage with the help of water, salty warm water, or cleaning nasal passage with the help of rubber tube. It is also called as Sutra Neti or Danda Neti. But we are not going to practice it online. So it is just for your information in case if you have nose blocked nostrils, or if you have some curve in the nasal kind of bone, then it's better to practice some other techniques which will help you. But today our subject is just Nadi Shuddhi. That's why we are focusing only on the Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam practice. So this is all about the breathing exercises. The first was Amrut Pranayam and the second was Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam. I hope you understood the instructions given for all those both pranayam. Now let's move to the next part of today's session, that is meditation part. So one of the very simple technique, that is Bandha, Jivha Bandha. Now why Jivha Bandha is very much necessary? Now we have very two strong energies. Sir used to talk about these two energies like very precisely. First of all, the first energy, that is Mana, and the second energy is Vani. Mana, mind, you can say, and Vani, speech. So whatever thoughts we get in our mind, the function of the mind is to think, right? So of course, we have mind, so we will have thoughts. So whatever thoughts we get in our mind, these thoughts, they try to express themselves with our motor organs. With our 5 sensory organs, we get the information, we assimilate the information. Our thoughts are based on whatever information we receive with our 5 sensory organs or our previous memories. And all those thoughts, they try to express themselves with our motor organs. That is Karmendriya. So Jnanendriya we use to receive the information, and Karmendriya we use to express our activities or express our thoughts with our actions, with our karmas. It's very funny thing that when I was watching my mother, even now, whenever I go to India, when I watch my mother, I think it is not only for my mother, but maybe you can also see in your family, or maybe you are also doing it by yourself, that whenever she is cooking in the kitchen, she always talks to herself. You know? And sometimes I call her, like I ask, like, did you say something to me? And she said, no, I didn't talk to you. I didn't say anything to you. I'm just talking to myself. I said, like, why you are talking then so loudly? If you have any thought, then it's better to keep your thoughts to yourself. But she said, like, it's my habit. Same thing is happening with my wife. Like sometimes she just talks to herself and then it is so loud. Sometimes I feel like she's talking to me, but she just says like, you know, I'm just talking to myself. And maybe some of you also have this kind of experiences that whenever we have some thoughts going on in our mind, so automatically, not intentionally, but automatically we start, you know, expressing those thoughts with our speech. And then the first very easy way, that is we start talking, we start expressing. But especially when you need good concentration, You know, when you need, or especially in the sports, Vamsa used to say, when you need very high concentration at any sports. I used to play pistol shooting, and in pistol shooting, like you need to really have very strong focus. Even if you have one unnecessary thought coming in your mind, it will completely distract your shot. You know, so you have to focus on each and every thought, how it is coming, and if it is really necessary, and which kind of thoughts you should allow in your mind. So Bamsar taught us a very beautiful technique, that is Jivha Bandha, to control the process of thoughts. It is not to remove the thoughts, and it is actually not good to say even try to remove your thoughts, because we have mind, the function of the mind is to think. And if we say that stop thinking, it means we are actually telling the mind stop functioning. It is like telling somebody or sportsman telling Sachin Tendulkar stop playing cricket. It is difficult to tell Sachin Tendulkar stop playing cricket. Even if it is he's retired, he will keep on playing cricket, you know, by teaching, by training, by himself or something. So it is same, like if you're telling our mind stop thinking, it is not a good way. But to conditioning mind, it is very good. So the process of Jivha Bandha, it is to condition the mind. It is to stop expression of the thoughts, and that really helps for different sports. So there are different types of Jivha Bandha. Today we are going to learn one more meditation, that is Nyas meditation, and I want all of you to practice Jivha Bandha at the time of Nyas meditation. So how it is going to help? Because actually Jivha Bandha is very useful not to express our thoughts with speech. Okay. And you will see when you will practice Jivha Bandha, you will have such a good, tremendous concentration, simple, with normal position of Jivha, that is tongue. You will have very good concentration, and that will develop the meditation practice as well. So there are different types of Jivha Bandha. One of the very simple type of Jivha Bandha, which we used to practice while playing shooting, that is holding your tongue without touching any part of the mouth, not palate, not teeth, not down, nowhere, just hanging at the middle. Even now, like while listening to me, you can try, just close your mouth, close your lips, and hold your tongue at the middle, you know, and you will see there is a subtle movement of the tongue. That subtle movement of the tongue, it is actually, tongue is trying to express our thoughts, what is going on in our mind right now. But for some people, it is difficult to hold the tongue. After some time, it gets tired, or it keeps on moving, it keeps on shaking. So there are another types of Jivha Bandha, when you touch the tip of the tongue to your teeth. That is another type of Jivha Bandha. One more type of Jivha Bandha, when you roll your tongue and the lower part of the bottom of the tongue, you touch to the palate up. Or another type of Jivha Bandha, when you touch your tongue flat to the palate. It means center of the tongue, you try to touch to your palate. So there are different types of Jivha Bandha. Now, I want all of you to follow Jivha Bandha by holding the tongue at the center without touching anywhere at the time of next meditation. The next meditation is very important. That is Nyas meditation. There are two types of Nyas meditation. I'm going to explain both types of meditation, but today we will be practicing the full Nyas meditation. Just for your information, I will explain you. The process of Nyas is very simple. So what is Nyas? Nyas, it means to keep. Now, all of you must be knowing, you know, there is a special process of Nyas. Whenever people, they construct the temple, they even put the idol in the temple. Okay. And now there is a process, or there is a vidhi called as prana pratishtha. Prana pratishtha, it means now you are inviting those energies in the idol, in the statue, whatever you kept in the temple. So there is a process of Nyas. It means you are actually inviting those energies, and you are requesting those energies to stay at the idol. So whenever next time when you will visit the temple, you can feel, you can experience that energy. So Nyas, the concept of Nyas is also saying that actually we are placing the energy at certain points in our body, at certain points in our body. So in the process of Nyas, today we are going to focus on 27 important points. As we know, in Ayurveda also they have given this concept, Pindi te Brahmandi, from Brahmandi te Pindi. It means human being, each and every human being, we represent the whole universe. So whatever elements are there in the universe, they are in a very micro form in each and every human being. So we also have the same, elements which are there. So the reflection of the universe is there within our body, within the whole of our being. So now we are going to focus on 27 important points which represent 27 nakshatras, 27 constellations. So why we are practicing these 27 points? Because when we practice Nyas on those 27 points, we connect our physical body with the cosmic body through those points. It means at the time of Nyas, we invite the energy from nakshatras, each and every nakshatras in our body. So it is a beautiful practice to connect the human body with the cosmic body. It's a beautiful practice. And at this process, we are going to chant one simple mantra, So Hum. So Hum also one of the beautiful mantra for self-realization. Whatever is there present around me, that's me. So it shows that there is no difference between me and the tree. Only the physical form might be different, but whatever energy lives within the tree and whatever energy lives within myself, my physical body, it is nothing but same. So this is a very general meaning of Soham. And we are going to use this powerful mantra at the time of Nyas. Why this mantra? Because this mantra can be done by synchronizing with your breath. It's very simple and it should be done mentally. So at the time of inhalation, mentally say So. And at the time of exhalation, mentally say Hum. So with inhalation, Hum with exhalation. I hope you understood. Again, So with inhalation, Hum with exhalation. So that's how we are going to chant mantra Soham during Nyas meditation. Now when you are practicing complete Nyas meditation, that is on 27 points, you need to chant Soham mantra 4 times on every point. So why 4 times? As we know that 5 elements are there, right? Space element is always present there. If there is no space, there is no existence. So we consider the energy of space element is always there. And remaining 4 elements. So with the help of those 4 Soham mantras, we try to bring the energy of remaining 4 elements on each and every point. So when you chant 4 times Soham on those 27 points, it is like 108 times. So Vamsa used to say that with the help of this Nyas meditation, you make your own body like a sacred mala, like mala which has 108 beads. Like now I'm wearing the Rudraksha mala. All of you must be knowing about this mala. So with the help of Nyas meditation, we make our body so much pure, like a sacred mala, 108 beads mala. So this is full form of Nyas meditation. There are different types of Nyas meditation. There is another type of Nyas meditation. Bamsa used to teach us this Nyas meditation, focusing on 2 chakras, Anahata chakra and Vishuddhi chakra. In the Vishuddhi chakra, there are 5 sub points which represents 5 energies: tip of the nose, tip of the tongue, center of the palate, center of the tongue, root of the tongue. Okay. So starting with the heart, then tip of the nose represents earth element, tip of the tongue represents water element, center of the palate represents fire element, center of the tongue represents air element, and root of the tongue, that is actually the position of Vishuddhi chakra, that is space element, and coming back to the heart. So this is also one flow for Nyas which we can practice. If you are interested to know more about this flow, I can send this information to Purnima ji, and then she can share all this information with you. But today we are going to practice Nyas meditation on all 27 points. So the process is very simple. Now briefly, quickly, I will tell you what are those 27 points. Between knee and the ankle. So this is shin bone. So center of the shin. So first point is left shin. Second point, left calf. And third point, left thigh, the center of the thigh. Next point, right shin, right calf and right thigh. So first left shin, then left calf, left thigh, then right shin, right calf, right thigh. 6 point. 7 point, navel, navi. So 4 fingers below navel. That is the 7th point. Then navel, navi itself. 8 point, heart or center of the sternum. 9, right lung, left lung. 11, right? Then right shoulder, upper arm, center of the upper arm. Then forearm and right palm. Left shoulder, upper arm, forearm, palm. Okay. Then mouth. When you focus on the mouth, you can even again focus on the center of the palate. Okay. Then tip of the nose, right ear, right eye, left eye, center of the forehead, and then top of the head. So these are the 27 points which we are going to use while practicing Nyas meditation. Okay. I hope you have understood the concept of Nyas meditation. It's very simple. More than talking, it is very good to experience the meditation itself. So I request all of you, please be seated in any comfortable meditative position. I'm going to give instructions in English and Marathi. So those people who don't know exact name of those parts, body parts, they can follow the Marathi word as well. Okay. So back straight, neck straight. Now keep both of your hands in Jnana Mudra, Dhyana Mudra, tip of thumb, index finger together, remaining 3 fingers together, but relax. Place them on your knees. If you are sitting on the chair, make sure your back is straight. If you are sitting on the chair, make sure your feet are flat on the ground. If you have very much height of your chair, then you can place something under your feet so that your feet will be flat. And then close your eyes. Close your eyes. Breathe smoothly. Now, please do not open your eyes till the end of the practice. Please do not open your eyes till the end of the practice. Today we are practicing Nyas meditation in the group, and each and every one of you has different rhythm. Okay? So I don't know what rhythm you follow, but when you will practice Nyas by yourself, you need to chant Soham 4 times on every point. But as we are practicing this meditation in a group, so I'm going to give you 15 to 20 seconds for every point. Within 15 to 20 seconds, how many times you chant Soham, that's okay. Some people, they will chant 5 times, some people they will chant 2 times, or maybe only 3 times, doesn't matter at all. So for today's practice session, doesn't matter how many times you chant Soham within 15 to 20 seconds. After every 15-20 seconds, I will give you instruction for the next point. But for your self-practice, chant Soham 4 times on every point, every center. Okay. Close your eyes, back straight, neck straight. Take a deep breath in, breathe out. Take a deep breath in, breathe out. Before we start Nyas meditation, let's do Sankalpa. Visualize the whole cosmic energy, universal energy is entering in your body from the top of the head, spreading out everywhere in each and every cell. Breathe normally. During Nyas meditation, let's practice Jivha Bandha. Hold your tongue at the center without touching any part of the mouth. Hold your tongue at the center without touching at any part of the mouth. न्यास या ध्यान प्रक्रियेचा अभ्यास करताना आपण जिव्हा बंद करून हे ध्यान करूया. त्यासाठी आपली जिव्हा, आपली जीभ याचा कुठेही स्पर्श होऊ द्यायचा नाही, ती फक्त मध्यभागी धरून ठेवायची. डोळे बंद करायचे. Focus on your breath and start chanting mantra Soham mentally. Start chanting mantra Soham mentally. When you breathe in, say So. When you breathe out, say Hum. As you inhale, say So. As you exhale, say Hum. And continue chanting mantra Soham. Continue chanting mantra Soham. And now mentally focus on your right shin. उजव्या पायाची नाठी. Focus on right calf. उजव्या पायाची पोटरी. Right thigh. उजव्या पायाची मांडी. Left shin. डावी नडगी. Left calf. डावी पोटरी. Left thigh. डावी मांडी. Four fingers below navel. नाभीच्या खाली. Navel. नाभी. Heart. हृदय. Right lung. उजवा फुफ्फुस. Left lung. डावा फुफ्फुस. Right shoulder. उजवा खांदा. Right अप्पर आर्म, उजव्या हाताचा दंड. राईट फोर आर्म, उजव्या हाताची भुजा. राईट पाम, उजवा तळहात. लेफ्ट शोल्डर, डाव्या हाताचा खांदा. लेफ्ट अप्पर आर्म, डाव्या हाताचा दंड. लेफ्ट फोर आर्म, डाव्या हाताची भुजा. लेफ्ट पाम, डावा तळहात. माउथ, सेंटर ऑफ द पॅलेट, आपलं तोंड. मुख. टिप ऑफ द नोज, नासाग्र. राईट इयर, उजवा कान. लेफ्ट इयर, डावा कान. राईट आय, उजवा डोळा. लेफ्ट आय, डावा डोळा. सेंटर ऑफ द फोरहेड, कपाल मध्य. टॉप ऑफ द हेड, डोक्याचा वरचा भाग. Hri Om. डोळे बंदच ठेवायचे. Keep your eyes closed. Visualize that you receive strong cosmic energy from the top of the head, entering in your body, spreading out everywhere in each and every cell, and helping you to remove all the toxins, stress from our body. Hari Om. Now you can open your eyes. So that's all about today. Thank you so much, Purnima Tai. Thank you so much, all organizers, for giving me opportunity to conduct today's session. I hope it was useful for all of you. So just as a revision, today we have seen Amrut Pranayam, then Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam, then Jiva Bandha and Nyas meditation. So if you need some more information about all those techniques, I will share this information with Purnima ji and she will just share it with you. Thank you so much for giving me opportunity to talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandeep sir. Thank you, Sandeep sir, for organizing wonderful session. It was really very much useful to us. Thank you so much.